Welcome back to Nerd Thug Radio.
Ow!
I'm the Captain Joey Savage.
Corey TLG.
And I'm covered in snow.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Because we played in the snow, baby.
Yeah! Snow break!
Also, don't forget to check us out at nerdthugradio.com. I built a legit snowman over the weekend.
That's crazy.
Like a legit
That's crazy.
snowman on the back of your car, and then I karate chopped him.
That's crazy.
Story of my life.
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
That's true.
so we're derailing the
format.
the hipster Padawan segment, and I'm taking it over.
Okay.
So before we recorded last week, before football started last weekend, I saw the first game, Falcons and Saints. So it got me thinking.
Okay.
Would you rather?
Oh man. Okay.
We can turn this into a would you rather if you want.
What do we got?
Would you rather be the head coach or a fan, whatever you want to say it, of a Falcons team that has a 35-point lead in the Super Bowl? And then
Not that much, but yeah.
28-point lead in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, it was like 32-3 at halftime or something like that.
28-3, I think. It was a 25-point lead.
25-point lead that they blew.
It was the largest postseason lead that has ever been blown.
And they blew it in two halves. Would you rather be on that or associated with that team who you get there, you've got it won, and then you blow the lead?
Well, you don't have anything won until it's over. So you're in the lead.
But
you're up 25 points.
Everyone, the parties I was at,
no.
everyone, I was the only Patriots fan.
Right.
Me and one other guy.
Yeah.
But I'm sure everyone on that team was like, oh my gosh, we're going to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
All the fans like, oh my, Atlanta's going to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Would you rather be part of that and be known for that, or a part of an 0-16 Browns team?
So there's two, man. Okay.
Right.
So there's two things with that. First of all, I mean, you got to know how to close out the biggest. It's the most. You got to. They messed up, and there was a lot of different factors involved in that. And part of it is that the other guy's Tom Brady.
Yeah, the GOAT.
The GOAT. I mean, coming into that game, he was the GOAT. Coming out of that game, he is the GOAT.
Greatest of all time.
So you got to talk about that. Like you can't they didn't blow a 25-point lead to the Little Giants.
No,
they blew a 25-point lead to probably the greatest head coach quarterback tandem in the history of football. You don't. So I don't want to just say they blew it, because there's the other half of that is that the greatest quarterback of all time did what he always does, which is find ways to win games.
But they blew it.
No, they
blew it.
If you want to be a hater, then you can say they blew it, which is a lot of people like, oh, Atlanta blew a 25-point lead. That's the only part of that story. To me, the more impressive thing is that New England came back, and in one half.
Oh no, the most impressive thing, yes, definitely that Tom Brady is the GOAT and he won. Yeah. But if you're part of that Falcon franchise,
you have to go home with the fact that you lost the Super Bowl.
This is what you play for. You play to win Super Bowls.
Right.
You get to said Super Bowl, and you have a 25-point lead with 2 quarters left to go,
and you blow it. Would you rather be,
or would you rather be on that 0-16? Browns
I don't want anything to do with. If the Browns called me tomorrow and offered me a job in the NFL, I wouldn't take it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. There's no amount of money the Browns could offer me to be in the NFL. To me, there are only 31 NFL teams. The Browns, they just fired their VP of player personnel, who they specifically told, this is a process, gather us as much resources as possible, and now they fired him because this season's not going well. And it's like,
I don't know why they expected it to go well.
I don't either. And they've passed on 2 quarterbacks, so if they want to be critical of that, that's fine. Mm-hmm. You can say that. But their drafts have been awesome. They have acquired a lot of good young talent.
They have.
Now, there's a high draft pick, the last name of Morris, that they basically cut, and that's the one screw up. They got one wrong. I guess if you count these trades as negatives because they didn't get Carson Wentz and they didn't get Deshaun Watson, and when you say that out loud, you're like, well, duh, they didn't get 2 of the better great young quarterbacks. But that wasn't the conversation at the draft.
Right.
No one at the time said, if anyone had thought Deshaun Watson was the record-setting rookie quarterback that he wound up being this year, somebody else would have made a better offer than what we made, because we gave up a second rounder, we gave up a first rounder for him.
Right.
That's it. So
they've had some fails. I mean, Johnny Manziel's a fail,
but that's not under this guy. This is only his second year.
This is the new guy.
This is the new guy, and they fired him after 2 years. I wouldn't take a Cleveland Browns job. Like, if I had been unemployed for 6 months and was eating ramen noodle and sleeping on your couch, not only would I not take the job, I'd tell you I didn't take the job.
I'd say take the job or you're kicked out.
No, I'd leave, but I wouldn't go to the Cleveland Browns because
I'll do it. I'll do the job.
They only embarrass people. They do. Like, if you take that job, at your next job, you have to pretend like you didn't work for the Cleveland Browns. Hey, tell me about your last 3 years. I was in a coma. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, it was terrible.
I didn't work for the Browns.
Right. I definitely didn't have a job with the Browns.
You've got the owner listed as the reference. I didn't work for
No, that's a mistake. Delete that. Delete that.
We're just friends on a different level.
Right. We were both on Plenty of Fish. We dated the same girl. It was a funny story.
Yeah.
No.
We're Eskimo brothers, basically.
I definitely don't like the Browns. I don't feel like anyone goes there to succeed. I feel like people go there to take jobs.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, do you honestly believe you're going to be the guy who turns around 20 years of steadfast, hard-headed losing? Because that's what they do.
Yeah, no,
they
you're
lose
right.
in the worst ways possible. They make the worst personnel choices. Now, the decision-making has gotten better in the last 2 years, but then they just fire this guy who's helping them make good decisions.
Right. It's like, what are you doing?
Right, because you think about the Brock Osweiler trade.
Ugh.
At first, you're like, oh, man, they took Brock Osweiler. That was so dumb. But then they picked up our second-round pick to basically take a guy who then they can trot him out and try him. And if it doesn't work, you send him home. Who cares? You still got the Texans' second-round pick.
Right.
The Texans had to pay you to take a quarterback.
Right.
I mean, that's a win-win for you.
It's a good deal.
Right. Plus, it eats up cap space. It makes you look good on paper because you got to spend X amount of money anyway. And he's like $8 million. And you don't have a lot of expensive people because you're the Browns.
You're the Cleveland Browns.
So, yeah, I don't.
It's a tough one, though, right?
No,
like,
I'd rather go to the Super Bowl. Every day of the week, twice on Sunday, I'd rather go to the Super Bowl than be a Brown. Like, if you were like, do you want to be Jim Kelly, a 4-time Hall of Famer, or do you want to be Deshaun Watson, who's sitting on the bench right now with an injury?
Deshaun.
I would be Jim Kelly, 4-time All-Star. 4-time Super Bowl loser, yes, but you go to the Super Bowl 4 times. Like, I'm fine with that. The Super Bowl every time.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
It's heartbreaking to lose it, and you're right. Unless they win a Super
heartbreaking
Bowl.
to lose it. Like, I can understand if you get there. I don't know. Okay, well, let's flip it here. Right?
Okay.
What's worse? What's worse here? We got the Falcons, who, let's just look at the last 2 Patriots Super Bowl wins. The Falcons, who blow the 25-point lead.
And the Seahawks, who should have run it.
Who should have ran the ball.
They should have run it.
And
There's no
they
doubt
don't.
about that. They should have run it. Now, the only thing that makes that okay.
Which is worse.
The only thing that makes that okay is that they had won the last one. Right?
Yeah. Well,
they beat Peyton Manning and the Broncos. So they've got one. They've got one. Basically the same
They
team.
destroyed.
They really did. I didn't see the Super Bowl for about 4 days. I was sitting at a bar. They were re-airing the Super Bowl start to finish. Just the football. Not like it was the NFL thing
No
where they shortened it down to like
Yeah,
45 minutes basically. I had 3 beers in that time, and what I realized was that the Seahawks destroyed the Broncos. They were on top of every play. They knew everything Peyton Manning wanted to do. They knew all his checkdowns. Mm-hmm. They ate his lunch like it was in their kit. Like, there's no doubt that the Seahawks, not only should they have won, they should have won by more.
Yeah.
They left points on the board because they just felt bad for the old guy.
Did you see the comment that Marshawn Lynch made? So when a couple weeks ago we had the whole ordeal with the Giants and
right,
and so
which was also stupid. Stupid.
So basically, it was like he was comparing the not starting Eli Manning call basically to not running the ball on the 1-yard line in the Super Bowl.
I don't know which is dumber. Like, that's a fair comparison. Which is dumber? Sitting down Eli Manning so you can run out Geno Smith and a rookie to lose, and then get yourself fired. Good call, McAdoo.
Idiot.
Or it was just dumb. It was just dumb.
How about Geno Smith coming out and being like sad that he lost the starting job? He
well,
never won it.
No. He should be. Yeah, first of all, he didn't win it.
You didn't win it.
You should always be. As an athlete, you should always be disappointed.
You didn't win it.
But he didn't win it. First of all, he should have, when he didn't win it, he should have gone to coach and been like, "Can we do tryouts in practice? Because I want to beat Eli.
Yeah,
I want to be better than Eli. I want the team to know I'm better than Eli. I want my receivers to know I'm better than Eli.
Still got a couple rings.
No, that's great. And look, feel good about yourself. You're getting paid to be in the NFL. You're a quarterback in the NFL. It's one of the hardest jobs. There's only
Eli, not Geno Smith.
Oh,
he has no.
I don't care. There's only 64
Unless
openings.
You're playing on Madden.
Right. There's only 64 openings in the NFL for quarterbacks and backups. You're in a special group, and I'm including the Browns in that 64. You're in a special group. Even the Browns guy, you count as special.
You count.
But, yeah, man.
What's worse? That or not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch?
No, that decision, because you lost the Super Bowl because of it.
You did.
The Giants they're not winning games anyway. Yeah. So like, you could be as dumb as you want to be. All you're doing is getting yourself fired, which is exactly what he did. I thought he was going to get fired at the end of the year, but then they lose the game and the owner goes, "Well, then why did we bench him in the first place?" and fires him. I think that's dumb on the owner.
And they fired the GM too.
Right.
You're both out of here.
I think it's dumb on the owner. The owner should have fired them when they benched Eli, or not fired them at all. You can't let the result determine that move.
Is it Mara or Rooney?
I think it's Mara. I think it's the Mara family.
Okay.
But you can't let This sounds silly to say out loud. You can't let the outcome determine the validity of that decision.
Right.
Because you're benching Eli not to win tomorrow, but to evaluate your quarterbacks.
Right.
So losing is going to be you're going to lose no matter what. You were losing with Eli. You're going to lose with Geno.
Right.
You're definitely going to lose with the rookie.
And now Eli's back in the starting spot.
And then it just makes Eli look worse.
Yeah.
Right? Because now the new coach can't do anything about Eli Manning.
No.
Right? Don't even talk to him. Don't even look at him in the office because you might get fired.
Don't look at Opie.
No. Opie. Poor man. And one thing about Eli Manning that just goes understated, one of the toughest guys in football, knows what he's doing, has 2 Super Bowl rings, and still can't get love.
Yeah.
Still can't get love. Ben McAdoo, who doesn't have anything on his resume, has the audacity to walk in and go, "You're my problem, Eli.
It's you.
I'm going to try something else."
30 people on IR.
The fact that they got no one to throw to, and they didn't call anyone. Like, Andre Johnson, come try out.
Yeah.
Like, they're not calling anybody. They're just going to, hey, we're going to ride it out with these street rookies.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And then, Eli, we're losing. We're going to try a different quarterback.
We'll
That's
play
not
defense.
the problem.
Yeah, O-line's been all scrambled.
They don't run. They don't pass. They don't catch. They don't defend. They don't stop people. They don't kick well. They don't do anything right. So what are they supposed to do?
I don't know.
They're going to lose.
They are going to lose, and they're going to lose hard.
They really are. But no, I would rather look. The dumber decision was running it because it was passing it because if you run it, you win a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
If you run it, you win a Super Bowl.
Done.
I say that you're giving the ball to the GOAT with 48 seconds left. He probably ties it up.
Yeah.
And we probably have our first overtime, and the New England Patriots still win somehow. But you at least score the touchdown there and put yourself in a position to win a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I don't know why you bench Eli. That doesn't make any sense either. And Ben McAdoo just looks like the guy who says the wrong thing.
You think he'll ever coach again?
No, he has no business coaching. He had no business being this coach.
No.
He looks like the guy who says the wrong thing when you're sitting next to somebody at a Denny's and gets everything wrong behind you. Like he's just like, oh yeah, that comes on the wheat toast, and the waitress is like white. That's white toast.
That's white toast. Let's jump out to a break. We come back. We'll do what we do to close this show out. You're listening to Nerd Thug Radio.
Woo!